make this mistake again. Let's welcome Chukwudi Okolie Ubuaja. So I'm going to take his name. Stop laughing now.
Were you going to call him Mrs. Chukwudi Okolie Ubuaja or what? What's the plot all about? No.
Chukwudi, I know you know there's something called inner method actor.
Inner method
actor.
I don't know that. I'm not going to pretend I know.
But
you don't have time to lecture.
That's when somehow if you are engrossed in a kind of conversation, with someone, and suddenly you tend to be engrossed in that.
Yes, and the elements from that conversation could creep into your next thinking. Yeah.
Yes,
it's completely human.
So that was my inner method actor, but I'm back to myself. This is Claire Adilapa Turesa.
You're welcome back to yourself.
Okay, fine. I'm going to get to know the story later, but I've committed my blunders in broadcasting, so I cannot be hard on anybody because I've done my own bit.
I know you can say that again. All right, let's begin quickly with Leadership newspaper, and Leadership is full this morning. It's packed, but the lead story, it's 11 months after absence of governing councils worsens varsity's crisis, and the Leadership has the very graphic detail of this story. It's record for the 2 governing councils dissolved in June 2023. It's right there on the screen. 52 federal universities currently operating without governing councils, and 10 federal universities established in 2021 are yet to have governing councils. And then on the other side, it says uncertainty grips most universities over the absence of governing councils, and vice chancellors and unions at loggerheads over running of universities. So this is just the lead story from on the front page of the Leadership. There's also another story just tucked in there. Tension as Rivers APC orders assembly to impeach Fubara. Details of that on page 4. Nigerians kick against 0.5% cybersecurity levy. It's on page 21. And bandits kill 8, abduct bank manager in Zamfara. Security forces kill IPOB commander, 2 others in Imo. It's on page 18. And a little just below the nameplate there, despite NNPCL's 1.5 billion liters stock, petrol scarcity persists. And it is of that on page 7. Now, just above the nameplate, gunmen kidnap 13 in FCT, demand 900 ransom. And let me quickly bring you the Nation newspaper. And the Nation is leading with a different story. It says, ECOWAS forced to battle terrorism in Nigeria and others. And it has a sub there. It's a sub-regional body sourcing $2.4 billion dollars to raise counter-terrorism troops. Details of that on page 2. And above the nameplate, let me quickly take that. 2024 oil bid round for only investors, says Lokubri. And relocate people from flood-prone areas. NEMA tells 33 governors. Okay, what else do we have on the front page of this paper? I think we've taken almost all the stories because the others are all on the Leadership.
Okay.
Demola.
Okay. I have with me the Vanguard newspaper, and above the nameplate we have Edo Goba, Obaseki Legacy Group set for showdown. Governor paying us with ingratitude for saving him. PDP elders will meet with aggrieved members to ensure victory, and PDP jittery over imminent defeat. APC leaders. Details of that story can be found on page 7. Impeach Fubara now. Rivers APC urges 27 assembly members. As Clark writes, IGP warns of imminent danger. The popular, the new masquerade actress of Valeria dies at 81. Chooks. Remember that
Valeria, yeah, of course, yes. That's Alias 430's wife,
yes.
In that series. Wow.
What happened?
Wonderful woman.
She died.
Zebi.
Yeah.
Oh, she died.
Yeah.
At 81 of Valeria.
81, yes.
Oh.
Where are these
Oh, my
soaps
goodness.
on NTA
Yeah,
those days?
she's been down for a while.
Really?
Yes, I think a length of that.
Valeria is dead.
Some of our co-actors, have been, putting out words out there.
Okay.
That, yes, she's frail.
Claros, Gringori,
yes, Alias
Valeria. Then the lady Ibukwe was part of it at a point.
Yes. Yes.
It was a wonderful truth.
She used to be known as Akpeno, and that's the program, the Masquerade.
Yeah, the
wonderful crew.
That's the program that made one of the programs, that was a must watch on the NTA.
There was Hotel de Jordan from the Benin City
Chukwudi-
axis as well.
Yes, on NTA.
NTA.
Yes, NTA.
But it's always
On
been
the
NTA if
On
it's
the
sober
NTA,
and
yes.
organized.
Honestly, on the NTA, there were so many soap operas and dramas, and all that 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 would
village
keep the
headmaster.
family, the village headmaster.
Corporal
And I
Adon.
also remember Ichoku, the famous Ichoku.
Yes.
And then
Ekuhama. Then the man said the white man wanted them to hit him with a hammer. The man's name was Ekuhama. He called me Ekuhama. He said they should hammer him.
Yes.
That's what the white man
yes,
wants.
and who says NTA hasn't paid some
No.
dues?
Don't even go there.
Okay.
We can relive it.
Yeah, we are.
Anyway, let's
Okay,
quickly
let me just
all right.
finish to what I have here. I think most of them, the headlines here have been read. Let me just propelling Nigeria towards renewal. President Tinubu first year in office. That's the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris. Then we have controversy trail CBN cyber security levy on electronic transactions. NSA rejects levy, demands immediate withdrawal. And we have Tinubu returns to Nigeria. He actually has returned anyway, the president. And Afe Babalola says, I am of the firm view that student loans should be available to all students to pay for university tuition, books, and living expenses. It is to me discriminatory and unjust to exclude students in private higher institutions from benefiting from the loan. That's a big question.
Big one.
And this one, Mr. and Mrs., I like everything in that soup, especially the stockfish. How can I get this type of soup regularly? That's the husband asking the wife. And the wife replies, invest in stock exchange. Give me money. You will get plenty of stockfish.
Yes. that headless delicacy.
Azunko, yes.
Upuruku.
Mr. and Mrs. used to be my favorite, in those days. But let's quickly look at, some very concerning, issues that are out there in the public. And the first one, of course, was the news that broke yesterday, Chukwudi, on the cyber security levy, and it was the talk of all media, stations last night.
What was the source of that story? Was it the
CBN?
The CBN.
The CBN.
The CBN
came out with that.
Yes.
Is it another band A thing?
Not really.
No. There's an act. There's
because
an act.
Claire is not likely to have 200,000 to send to people every month. I am thinking that this is going to affect again people who do huge transfers and all that.
Precisely.
So in a way, it's a band A thing within the banking industry.
Well, it says one. It is 0.5% levy on all electronic transactions, and although there were some exclusions,
There's about 15.
Yes, about 15 of those exclusions.
Yeah, about 15.
Yes, but the issue is the question people are asking really. Although some cybersecurity experts have said, well, if we must clean up our online, and be safe and all that, with our transactions, then we must find a way of, funding cybersecurity. But the issue is, people are asking, who
bears the responsibility? I'm not going to mention this bank. I'm not going to mention this bank, blah, 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 profit after tax rises by 165% in quarter
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Why would they not help us defray this?
You know, so someone was asking yesterday, and he said the question we should be asking is not whether this is a good policy or not, but whether who spends it, how is, are the proceeds spent, who is the payer, who is the receiver, you know. So when we,
It's not the banks.
yes,
And they
so,
will just transmit it to the CBN.
you know, so when,
Yeah, it's not the banks, but the banks, with the humongous profits they are making, without really providing funds for very productive ventures. People are just trading with money. Manufacturing, agriculture is not getting huge things from the banks. It's just exchanging money, quick profit, give him, he goes to bring his goods from China, immediately he sells, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really help the productive sector. So let them bear some cost, if you ask me. Cyber security should be provided by those we have entrusted with our funds in the coffers.
yeah,
That's my take on
but
it.
the issue is, one, because of paucity of funds.
Paucity of funds on whose part?
Just hold
That's
on.
the question.
Just hold on.
But have you
Just-
noticed that most of the time when you go to the bank, I mean, especially the ATM, you don't even get the cash to spend.
Okay, you know, because of that, there was an act, you know, that, you know, provided for the establishment of a cybersecurity trust fund.
It was actually quoted, the act was quoted in the report.
Yes. So this levy is probably one of the steps to fund that trust fund. And the trust fund, who manages the trust fund, I believe, should be domiciled in the office of the security advisor.
After paying the cyber security, whatever, and scammers are still able to get into my bank, I'll know who to sue.
Exactly. We know. Just last week,
Yes,
there were,
the 15-year-old guy that was...
there were a number.
Did you see the story?
The kidney.
No, the 15-year-old boy that was able to hack into the EFCC chairman's accounts in his presence. You know, that's to tell you how bad
Actually,
the situation is.
hacking is not done by academic knowledge.
No.
It is actually a gift. Being able to
You have to be a
manipulate-
genius.
You have to be a genius. If you're a precocious child, you could actually start those things as early as 12. You know, so it's still open to molestation in quotes.
And it's one of the big challenges that we are facing now.
Very
that
big challenge.
Many of these youths, they don't believe in education any longer.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't, and it's
just-
unfortunate.
Yes, it's quick.
We are
to
going
make money.
to suffer the repercussions 30, 50 years from now. What's happening to our youths now? We wouldn't know immediately. But the aversion to education, to I plant, watch
Especially
it
the
grow,
boys.
I harvest, you know, is going to show later, and it's not good for us.
It is not.
Gunmen kidnapping 13 in FCT, and you ask, is it that we need more AI gadgets to battle them, or is there a drop in the will of those boots on the ground that are supposed to combat the men without conscience? Whatever it is, we should not let them, you know,
Let's
get away with this.
let's also
Because we had a reprieve. We have to
Yes.
say that.
Let's
For
situate
some-
it also.
Yes.
It's in the Buhari area council,
Not within the
not
city.
within the
city
city.
centre.
Yes. So and we know
It's
that
within
this,
earshot of the FCT.
Yes.
It is not good news for investors.
it's
So
not good
think
news
that
for
way.
investors.
So that we don't begin
people
to
don't begin
think
to,
about fringe criminality.
Yes, you know, Chukwudi, once you say FCT, the first.
I know,
is
I know
Abuja.
what you mean. It's not the metropolis.
Yes, it's not
we
the
know.
metropolis. So
Yes.
people should get.
Maybe it's good to point that
Yes.
out, really.
You know.
See what is happening in what's about to happen in
Rivers?
Rivers.
I've seen
In
that.
Peachful Borough now, Rivers APC urges.
I've seen that.
I think.
I saw Fubara 3 days ago talking about the assemblymen who were at a point asking him to even pay school fees for their children and all that. And I knew that fresh trouble was brewing. The River State debacle in Broglio is something that should not be. But it's growing a mind of its own, and it's going to resolve itself over time.
You know,
Nobody's going to have an easy ride over anybody. That's what I
soon
see.
the politicians will come and tell you that it's a family affair. So I think we should just leave this Rivers. It's a family affair.
I hardly talk about them, really.
They know. Yes, they know. But the
Indeed.
thing is that what impact will this have on the
Thank
democratic
you.
process in Rivers?
Democratic process and the people
And the
themselves.
people. That's
If
what
the
I say,
stewards
governance.
if the stewards are distracted, how does it also
Impact on
impinge
development.
on the smooth delivery of infrastructure and the rest of it? For Rivers people, they voted you in. They need maximum attention from you. That's the point.
And let's also
really
the
unfortunate,
story. You were asking me this morning if there was still petrol scarcity, and I can't remember what I said to you.
You said the problem is
not really. You can. I think you can see.
But it's creeping in again gradually. It's creeping in. That what it suggests, please, this is not categorical. What it suggests is that the supply we got was not quite enough. There could be a little bridging that needs to be done.
Okay, we have had enough supply from you this morning, Chooks. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
We have to draw the curtain now, and we'll take a break. Good Morning Nigeria continues. Stay with us.